Good morning, and welcome to the From Rigidity to Agility webinar. I'm Chris Rancic, the Director of Consulting at Blue Leopard Consulting, and I'm pleased to introduce Mark Stevenson, the Product Manager at Resourcebase Digital Asset Management, and Eric Ciano, Managing Director at Blue Leopard Consulting. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that you are on mute, and if you have any questions, please put them in the question box so they can be answered at the end of the webinar. The presentation will last about 25 minutes, giving us time at the end for questions. And with that, let me start by introducing Eric Ciano, Managing Director at Blue Leopard Consulting.
Chris, thanks for the introduction. And for the rest of you, thank you for joining our webinar, From Rigidity to Agility. You know, as humans, we love nothing more than stability, right? That allows us to plan accurately for the future and execute around that plan. That very stability leads to rigidity in volatile environments. As you all know, today we're in a rapidly evolving environment that requires operational agility in marketing and sales. In particular, how we're executing marketing campaigns and how we're enabling our sales force. That puts a lot of burden on us to innovate in order to move quickly and be adaptable to changing market conditions and consumer behavior in what is now a remote world. So during the webinar, we're going to explore the opportunity to gain operational agility. To do that, we're going to explore digital asset management and distributed marketing. As a quick reminder, digital asset management are systems that store and organize digital assets in a central location. It's all about providing flexibility and access with governance and reporting on how we're using those digital assets. Distributed marketing is a little different in that it is two things. One is an operating model for the process of central to local marketing for those brands that sell their products and services through local partners. Those can be dealers, they can be branches or franchisees. Additionally, distributed marketing tools are designed to allow marketers to plan and execute campaigns across those distributed networks, making sure that we have local relevance, brand consistency, and that speed to market that we all crave. Mark will show you how digital asset management and distributed are used to empower everyone, everywhere, to drive your brand forward, leveraging Resourcebase as your digital agility hub. To do that, Mark will highlight 3 case studies in different industries. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mark.
I will. Thanks, Eric. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I've been tasked with showing you how Resourcebase creates that valuable operational agility that Eric's just been talking about. I'm going to take you through 3 real-world examples that will hopefully bring that to life for you. First one is Lionel Rock. They use it for their worldwide image library. They are a very large construction company based out of the UK, but with offices across the world and also with lots of users as well. They're involved with a lot of the major projects that you see down here. They use it as their worldwide image library so that those users spread around the 3 hubs and satellite offices have access to more than 80,000 assets, and there are about 2,000 users registered on the system. Structurally, they've kept it really simple. The top level is folders which they term business sectors, and then each business sector is full of projects. At this point, this approach of an intuitive structure with folders and subfolders removes the need for complex metadata and taxonomy strategies that you might have heard bandied around before. This really helps with helping an agile deployment process. Believe me, folders and subfolders save a lot of time, but there's also the options in there as well for keywords and keyword assistant. Okay, so these granular filters up here show content can be viewed by the hubs, by type of asset, And then grouped under here are lots of other minor filters as well. So as we're in education, let's pick out this one here. So this is Oxford University School of Government, or Blavatnik. And you'll see that we have 230 assets within this project. All of these things are the content is previewed, and it's a mixture of completed exterior shots, interior shots, CGI, and some construction progress shots as well. Now, as I'm mousing over these various assets, you'll see icons for actions the user can perform on the asset. First one over here on the left is download. So the original file type uploaded was a TIFF file, and that has automatically created these additional file types, which cover pretty much anything anybody would want from an image file. I can email the item here. You're only sending this one asset to anybody. If you want to send it to a group, then you would use this function, which is the collections, or as they call it, the job bag function here. I'm going to create a new job bag on here, or I could have selected an existing one. And this one will be, let's call this one Thursday afternoon presentation. We're going to create that job bag. And you'll see that up here, that job bag is now active, and we have one asset in there. As I mouse over these, I can add as many assets as I want. I could also navigate to other parts of the system, to other folders, to other projects, and add content from there into this job bag as well. Once you've selected the content, click up here and you will see all of the tools. If we click View Job Bag, so you can share this via a secure link. You can download all of the items as one zip file, or if you want to just choose which ones you wanted, you can download it, one of these individually. Typically, Lang's bid winning team use this all the time. They get the best content together, they select from that, and then they download it and they'll use it in bid documents, PowerPoint presentations, sending to the press, that kind of thing. And if we go back to our search, last option, which again, when you are spread out all over the world as Lang are, we have the option to edit the image. Like a very simplified version of Photoshop online, but even I can use it, so it must be fairly simple. And this panel of preset crops up here can be customized. So if you have specific web images, sizes, or presentation sizes, then we can stitch those in. And the same goes for these social media options down here. We can, if you don't use Facebook, we can get rid of Facebook. We can put in LinkedIn, for example, or Instagram into there. And it does a much better job than PowerPoint or Word for cropping these kind of things. If I wanted a square image, I can click up there, it puts the mask on, highlights it, so I can move that around. I can then even pull that down to something like that. It keeps the proportions all the time. I'm happy with that, and I can now download that. Okay, let's now jump to something completely different and take a look at our new homepage and how that new homepage is helping motor dealers. We work through a company called 438 Marketing with Subaru car dealers and Isuzu truck dealers as well across the UK. The Subaru team are about 40 dealers spread all over the UK, and they use it for things like, as we can see on their model launches, service and repair offers, and that kind of thing. Now, a lot of these dealers don't have dedicated marketing staff. So a typical user is someone who has the marketing role as well as their primary role. And then this new homepage is perfect for directing them to new content as soon as they log in. And then they can get to that content in one click. There's a lot of flexibility when we're building these panels. As you can see, we've got text only, text and pictures, icons and animations as we've got down here. Let me show you how easy it is to create one of these panels. We click Add Our Panel down there. New out back is out front. Okay, so we're going to put our text in white up at the top there. We're going to change our background color from the dark blue to the light blue. These colors, by the way, are their brand colors. So we stitch the brand colors in so that when people are creating it, they're not choosing from some weird color palette at all. I want to put a picture into there that highlights this new model. So I now can browse to my folders. These are all just test images, as you can imagine. Their system looks a lot neater and a lot tidier than this does. We've got a nice image editor on here as well, but much simpler. So I'm going to bring that down in size a little bit and just move that across. Okay, I'm happy with that crop on there now. And I'm going to put some text on there. And we're going to put in view the new model. Black doesn't look too good, so I'm going to change that to white. That looks stronger. And I now want the end users to be able to see this, get excited, click on the link and take them to all of those images. So I'm going to choose where to take them when they click that link. This gives you lots of options. In this case, I want to take them to this folder 1 just here, but you can go to an external URL if you wanted to. You can pull together a collection, a job bag of different assets from around the system that will just automatically populate into one page. But I want to take them all to folder 1. I select that, that's done. Now that panel is now live and can just be one full clickable panel. But in most cases, I think most people will want to put a button on so it's more obvious. So we've chosen our button. Put view images on there. I'm going to change that background color again to that secondary color because that looks stronger against that greeny grass base. And we're happy with that, so we're going to save it. So that's done, and it's dropped it in down here at the very bottom. But it's a new model, so we want to promote it again up at the top. So if I grab it from there, I can just move it up to the point, up to the top there, and that then shows up at the top. Nice and easy. I'm going to finish editing. That page would then, once you finish editing, that page would then automatically update the page and everybody would see the new home page. Okay, makes the home page really dynamic. Great way to signpost new content for the templates and for the DAM. While we're here, let's just take a quick brief look at Flight. Flight's our newest feature. You'll no doubt be familiar with WeTransfer and ShareFile. This works just the same, sending files from a user's computer. The difference is, best of all, it's free. This is a kind of beta version of this. Will have a bit more nice looking sort of graphics on there when it gets rolled out to everybody. Unlike the other systems though, Flight makes sure that all of the activity is available to check either on a user's account or in admin, and there's a complete activity record should it ever be needed as well. So there's a degree of security there, so people can let people get used to using something like this rather than WeTransfer. Okay, so our final use case, we're going to look at how a leading health insurance provider uses Resourcebase to support a whole range of dental practices and veterinary practices, and there are about 3,000 of those spread across those two sectors. Last sort of numbers I could get were about 6,000, but I do know from Simply Health that that's increased significantly now, and they were reckoning somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 users across both platforms, and they use it basically as an integral part of the support package that they put in there. Now, that's a lot of users, so keep in mind that we don't charge by the user. So all of those users paying, or Denplan are paying exactly the same price for all those users than you would if you're only paying, had say 200 users, something like that. So it does make it a really cost-effective system. Jumping into here, I'll stop waffling in a second, sorry, and we'll get to the demo. What we've done here is we've adjusted one of the live templates just so we can show you a number of variables on one of them. So we're going to look at this feedback survey template. We're going to do Thursday PM. We'll call that. We're going to open that up. The reason that we give it a title is it records it against the user's record, and what it's doing now is it's pulling in data from my profile. So because I'm an admin level user, I can see up here which practice it is I'm switched to and which site. It's automatically pulled in this logo down here. Regular users don't get this option, by the way. They only see they only see what they're allowed to see, which is not everybody else's material. It's also pulled in a telephone number just there as well. We can make all sorts of things variable on a template. We're going to change the background on this one. So we're going to change it and we're going to put in a really strong, excuse me, graduated background. I want something with a bit more pop, or sorry, a little less pop than that light blue background on there. That's great. That looks nice, but my customers tend to be a little bit older. She looks a bit younger, perhaps a little bit casual. I want something a bit more serious. So I can change my image. This is all built by the in-house team at Simply Health, so they have a whole palette full of different patient type images. So I'm going to push in my younger lady into there. That works really well. That's the professional kind of feel that I want, but I also want to change this image down here. So on here, I can either use that original image or I can pick any one of these ones as well. I could, if it was set up in that way, allow the practices to upload their own image into these small areas, which they very often do. I'm going to pick that one. Just not happy, we've got a bit of too much space on this left-hand side, so I think we can probably make that look a little bit better. So if I just pull that across to there and then zoom in a little bit, that probably gives me a better crop there. I'm going to update that and drop that in. And that's given us a completely different look and feel to that template than what we started out with. So as you can imagine, from one piece of base artwork there, the end user can create a whole range of different styles of templates with different messaging on, different imaging and that kind of thing. If this copy up here was editable, that's what they would be changing. I can change this telephone number down here. Now this was pulled in from the profile, but unlike the logo, it's not locked, so it can be changeable. I could have locked it, but it was set up in a way that makes it changeable because they might want to put a different telephone number in there. So if we put, that's the number that we want people to call reception on. Click screen preview up there. And that's it updated. And again, just like we were talking about earlier, very, very easy to use. Within a dental practice, very often it's the dentist, sometimes it's one of the hygienists, it's one of the nurses, it's one of the admin staff, all with a different skill set when it comes to you creating content. But with something like this, you're giving them the tools. It's like a nice little jigsaw. You're giving them the tools. They can play about with it, get the feel that they want, and it's all nicely branded for them as well. So they're getting professional quality design work without actually having to pay the prices or to suffer the delays of it as well. Okay, we're happy with that. I'm going to commit that to artwork now. And then what we're going to see here is, depending on how this has been set up, we get different output options. This has got all of them enabled. So I can download the artwork PDF, which would simply give me what we're looking at there with those crop marks on. I can get a desktop version as well, which the system will automatically remove these print marks that you can see up there. I could email that to my local printer if I wanted to. This system is very, very flexible. It's not tied to any one printer. We can plug it into clients' printers. Or I can order print, and that's what this is set up for. So the pricing on here is set as $0. The client pays for the printing for their practices. but it's limited on how many they can order. So I want 2 of those. I click continue. The system, again, pulled from my profile, has dropped in my delivery address into there. We ask the end user to always click to confirm that they've checked the artwork. It then makes it their responsibility if there is something wrong, unless it's a print issue, of course. I can put some additional instructions onto there, and once I'm happy with it, I then place my order, and that goes off to the printer, unless the approval process has been enabled on it, in which case it would go through to you as an end client for approval, whether that be a cost approval or a brand approval, whatever it might be. You get to approve it before it goes off to the printer or getting to download. And keep in mind, it's not only print and display material that can be templated. Social media content can be as well. And practices love the social media because it's instant, it's professionally designed, and that really enhances the sort of the brand and the professionalism of each of the practices. That's me talking lots and lots and lots about these kind of systems, but we've got a bit of a testimonial from our client, Claire Lincoln, who was responsible at Simply Health for setting up all of these systems.
So, you know, I work for Simply Health, and we have many clients from dentists and vets, and a huge diverse range of needs that needed to be supported from a marketing perspective. The marketing support team worked directly with dentists to create bespoke marketing materials such as posters, flyers, invites, certificates, a whole range of items. We had a really, really big dental network, so we were super busy all the time, and we did more and more for the dentists to support them develop their client base. We had a templating system, but it really wasn't all that great. It wasn't intuitive. We found it very difficult to navigate at Simply Health, and we really needed to have something that was intuitive for dentists and vets to use, that we could gain some real digital experience from, and we could really see what was working for the dentists and get some analytics from it, and really create things that dentists really wanted to help them grow their patient base. We did an analysis of our most popular items that were requested, that we did individually for each dentist, and we created these to go onto the templating system. We asked some of our clients if they were happy to test this for us, and we had some really, really great results from them straight away. They found it intuitive and easy to use. Some of our consultants, we asked them to play with it as well and see how easy they found it. And it was brilliant. We also arranged to have the templating system set up so dentists could order a poster directly from a printer, so they were professionally printed, or they could download a PDF and print it locally with their own printer, or even just simply on their local printer in the practice. So either way, we could support them any which way they wanted. And this was a massive win for us because we were supporting more and more dentists. So the actual team doing the marketing in the office, they could offer really, really bespoke items, which would take a little bit longer. But for those dentists' practices that wanted something really quick, then they could just go onto the system, they could put in different details of their own, perhaps upload a logo, some copy, some prices, and they could get that really quickly. They could do it the same day if they were happy with it. We launched to the whole network which was over 3,000 accounts, and usage just went up and up and up as it got a real good ease of use for our practices, and word went round. So it was just brilliant to have this new system compared to the old system, and we were able to upload new templating systems really quickly. So there was a period when we had really bad snow, so we were able to create something that Facebook for dentists to use to say, yes, we're still open, or no, we're not, we'll rearrange your appointment. And they could put that on their own Facebook page and have something there really, really quickly. As long as the studio could support us in getting it done really quick, then we were able to respond super quickly. We could spot trends really quickly with our clients and increase our template offering based on those trends. And we had social media templates and poster templates and newsletter templates. You know, there was no end to what we could offer our dental network to help them grow their business. So, you know, with COVID-19, it'd be really easy to create templates for the dental network to use and really keep their patients informed as to what's happening and how they can support them and how best to get in touch with the practice. So it's been an invaluable tool for Simply Health and our clients, and has just really provided an amazing amount of flexibility for everyone involved in the office, for the marketing team, and most importantly for our customers and their customers.
Thanks, Claire. Whilst as my sort of wrap up there, I'm not going to talk you through these, but these give you a feel for some of the other clients that we have around Europe and what have you, and also just different kind of use cases in different market sectors as well. That's it from me. I'm going to hand back to Chris. Thanks very much for your time, everybody. I hope you found that useful.
Great, Mark. Thank you very, very much. While you were presenting, we had a couple questions come in. So let me take a look at those. First question was about the additional functionality that you showed. Is that, you know, usually when people are buying systems, those come at additional costs? What are the additional costs when it comes to the additional functionality?
Well, what we've looked at today is the system. So there is no, as it was described there, additional functionality. The system is carved into two modules, basically. The DAM system that we looked at with Lang, and then the template function, which is Subaru and Simply Health. Combining those two together gives a much more powerful system. But your only sort of pricing options are DAM on its own or DAM and templates. The homepage is free. That's an upgrade that we're rolling out to everybody right now, as is the flight file sender as well. So no additional costs for that, for what we've seen today. Everything comes as part of the price.
Great. There was a question about a clarification. They just wanted to make sure that you said that when you get a license to Resourcebase, you can, as many users as an organization wants, can use the system?
That's right, yeah. A little sort of story a while back, we had a client in the UK who were a very large outsourcing organisation, run lots of departments for the government and local councils and that kind of thing. And this is going back about 6 or 7 years, and they just said, oh, we want anybody to have access to it. So they gave us a CSV file with 20,000 users on it and said, can you upload all of those and send them all out individual invites for the system, please? So we probably could have retired if we charged by the seats at the table license, but no, it really is, it's an unlimited users for the monthly fee.
That really is quite, that's unheard of in the industry. Next question. What's that?
We try to be a little bit different.
Excellent. Next question is about the system managing video. How is it? Does it manage video?
It does, absolutely. Yeah, it holds all various different kinds of video files that can then be played on the system, downloaded. Video is not a problem at all.
And they can also be shared.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Great. Last question I have that we got in was asking about how long it takes to get the system set up and have it running in an organization.
We can set a system up in about 2-3 days, and that will be ready to go. However, we would rather not. We would rather spend a bit more time with a client just to understand how they're going to use it, what their user base is like, where their current material is stored, how we're going to get that material onto the system, what's a good way to structure the folders and the subfolders that we looked at with Lang. By spending a bit more time, you end up with a more future-proof system. What you don't want is to get the thing rolled out as fast as it possibly can be, to then within 6 months think, actually, this folder structure doesn't really work for everybody. So we're now going to have to reconfigure it. So it's like anything, fail to plan, plan to fail.
Got it. Well, we're just about hitting the, we just did. It's, presentation is done with, our time frame is done. Just a reminder to everybody that a recording will be going out from the system. So if you want to, you can review it again. You can pass it on to your work associates. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at Resourcebase. As you can see, that we have the Resourcebase website up and running, www.resourcebase.com. On it, you will find contact information there. So again, thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.